Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with a rant on Iron Man 3. Now, I know this movie has its lovers and its haters, and I thoroughly belong in the haters crew. I do not like this movie on any level. I mean, I hate the Mandarin twist. It drives me absolutely nuts. Before they revealed that whole thing, I remember being in the theater and like when they were showing his tapes, like looking at my arm and the hairs were on end, and then after that came out, I was like, oh. Are you kidding me? But there's a couple things about this movie that I think are just mind-blowing that I never see people discuss, that just amazes me because they're so ridiculous. And like the fact that this was written into a major movie and nobody on any level was like, what, why is that there? Like, how can we need to fix this? This needs to be pulled out. Absolutely blows my mind. It should go without saying that this movie, because this video, since I am going to be talking about specific scenes, will definitely have spoilers, and they're fairly major spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want stuff ruined for you, then by all means. Pause it, watch the movie, come back, or just turn it off. I mean, obviously I'd love to have you guys watch my videos, but I also don't want to ruin any movies for anybody. So that said, the two major things that drive me absolutely nuts. One is, okay, when watching this movie, I don't know how anybody doesn't come away from this movie thinking Tony Stark is the biggest dick in the world. So here's why. So throughout the entire movie, he is constantly professing his love for Pepper, right? The entire movie is about him trying to deal with the repercussions of what happened to him in New York, but also through doing his best to hold on to Pepper, and that Pepper is his whole reason for being to a certain degree, and how much he loves her and all that. So then he goes on national television and tells the Mandarin where he lives, right? And it's kind of addressed that people think that that's a very dangerous and selfish thing for him to do, and the whole thing comes out that he was putting Pepper in danger. But you know, there is part of me that I'm like, okay, I do understand where he's coming from there. I mean, the dude is Iron Man. He has every reason in the world to think that he'd be able to protect her from the Mandarin or the Mandarin's cronies or what have you, right? So the movie keeps going, and he goes home, and he all of a sudden, helicopters come out of the woodwork, start shooting missiles at his house, and he's not in his Iron Man suit, so he just has the hand thing, and he's trying to protect them, but he's not in one of his actual suits, so he's trying to protect Pepper, but he can't really. And there's the whole thing, right, where Pepper, for a second you think that Pepper might die, but he ends up pulling it off and keeping her safe, right? All that's kind of well and good. I mean, it's kind of hard to stomach the scene, like I said, because the dude brought it on himself and put her at risk. If he thought he could protect her, then maybe he should have had her go somewhere else, and then he could just protect the house. I mean, that would be the considerate thing to do, or just not invite people to his house in the first part, or invite themselves to his house and it not actually be his house, or whatever. There's many ways that he could have kept her safe that didn't involve his house getting exploded. But the problem is, on the face of it, I was kind of like, all right, I'll kind of let that go, right? Problem is this: throughout the rest of the movie, he goes off on his little adventure where he's trying to figure stuff out, and he's not really Iron Man, and he doesn't have the suit. He's off on this this area where he's trying to fix the suit, and then he ends up having the big fight with the big villain at the end of the movie. And the way in which he beats the villain, one of the ways in which he beats the villain, because Pepper has a lot to do with that as well, but one of the ways he does like some sequence or whatever, and a whole fleet of Iron Man suits come to his protection and her protection, and he uses them to defeat him, right? The problem is this: the timeline of the movie is Pepper is put in complete danger, and he can't protect her because he doesn't have the Iron Man suits. And then he goes off and he does this all stuff. There isn't like a sequence in the middle where he's creating tons and tons of Iron Man suits that come and protect him at the end, because he's afraid that he won't be able to protect Pepper again. So it's completely obvious that he at any time could have beckoned those suits when the house is under attack and kept his girlfriend safe, but he's like, nah, this isn't a dramatic enough moment for me to call on all my suits or even any of my suits. I'll leave them at the bottom and have my girlfriend be completely at risk. And you know, I'm not too worried about protecting her because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to deal with these helicopters, despite the fact that I don't have any access to my suit and therefore can't fly at them or do anything that makes it reasonable for me to expect that I'm going to get out of this perfectly safe and that she will be perfectly safe. Because it's just not dramatic enough yet. I hate in these movies where these things happen where like, oh, this is the dramatic moment for that to happen, so we'll do it. The same thing happened in Spider-Man 3 with the butler revealing that it wasn't Peter that killed his dad, and it just drove me nuts. So like if you had access to a weapon that could protect your girlfriend or your wife or the woman that you're in love with, and you opted to not use it because things could be more dramatic later or for no apparent reason, you are a complete dick. And that's why Iron Man in Iron Man 3 is a complete dick. And then the other thing that drives me nuts in this movie is there's a post-credit scene, right? And so one of the things in this movie that it hasn't happened very frequently in the Marvel Universe is that there's a degree of voiceover. And at the end of the movie, right at the end of the credits, it gets revealed that the voiceover is coming from Tony Stark is talking to Bruce Banner, and he's telling him the story of the movie, right? And it was on the one hand, it was kind of a great moment because they were the science buddies in the Avengers, so it was cool seeing them back together. Problem is this: so they pan over, and Bruce Banner has fallen asleep. So let me get this straight. Iron Man, Tony Stark, is telling his buddy this story about the events of his life, the events of the movie, and Bruce Banner finds the story so boring that he couldn't even stay awake. So a character in the movie is telling me that the events of the movie are so tedious and uninteresting that they're not worth staying awake to hear. What? Who writes that as the end moment of their movie? And I know that most people don't think about that, like that about something that deep, but at the same time, it's right there in front of you. Like the whole end of the movie is him giving a speech about how he's getting the arc reactor taken out of his chest. He's giving this like big speech about how he's not going to be Iron Man anymore, and it's supposed to be this big dramatic moment, and we find out that he's putting his buddy to sleep because he finds the whole thing so stupid and boring that it's not worthy of staying awake, or he can't stay awake, or what have you. Like, that is amazing that they wrote that into that movie. It just blows my mind. And it blows my mind that people don't talk about it. Like, that's crazy. Who would do that to their own movie? Who would be like, yeah, I'm gonna write it in my movie that my movie is this boring. Like, come on. Who does that? So that's my Iron Man rant. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If I'm completely off the mark or whatever your opinion is, hit me up in the bottom. If you're amazed that you didn't have the same issues with it that I did, that now that you're thinking about it, or if you did have the same issues and you're equally befuddled as I am that other people didn't, please comment below. Let me know if you love Iron Man 3 and think I'm crazy. Let me know. If other than that, hit that like button. It does awesome things for my channel. Hit subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can find out about my next movie review or top 10 list or rant or what have you. It'd be awesome. Other than that, have yourself a nice day.